Hello guys, Kelvin back again with another video. Another day, another video, trying to stay consistent. You already know how it is. But I've decided that since I'm going to be here trying to stay consistent, I'm going to speak my truth. You know, better to not be on the fence, sit in one side so that if I die tomorrow, everyone knows where I stand. I don't want it to be that I was wishy-washy and I could have been here, I could have been there. So today's topic is lust. It's going to be on lust. Lust is the most horrible thing that could have come to a young man. And it could also be the best thing that he could have ever possibly been introduced to. Lust is, when I say that, people normally think of it in the context of sex, which would be correct, you know. A lot of the times, people's desire is manifested in that way. But people can also have a lust for riches, a lust for pride, a lust for success, a lust for all sorts of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be gratified in a sexual way. But for the most part, it will be in that way. Do you get what I'm saying? So however it is, whatever lust, however it manifests in your life is what we're going to address today. Now look, once again, as you know, I make these videos as outward journal entries. So I speak to myself just as much as I speak to anyone else. We're getting into that place now where it was always going to get uncomfortable at a certain point. I couldn't stay on the surface forever, so we're just going in. Lust is one of the most dangerous things ever. For me, as a man, as a young man especially, you can lose your footing in life. You can lose your purpose in life. You can lose your destiny to lust. Everything that God or the powers that be, whatever you choose to believe in, anything and everything that God had ordained for your life, you can throw it away to lust. Imagine that. Imagine when you were born, God had this image of you. He said, this is going to be a great person. He's going to contribute to the world in this way. He's going to solve this issue for his family members. He's going to be the one that changes everything for his generations to come. And then that person got to the age of 16 to 18 and fell into the trappings of lust. And that whole existence was gone. Now, we could even get into the religion thing because people would then say, oh, so where was God? But God also gave us free will. And God is such a God of love that no matter how far that person went, he would always forgive them and give them the opportunity to come back onto that path. But let's say that didn't happen, because 9 times out of 10, it's not happening. A lot of people are getting lost in it and they're falling to the wayside. Like, bro, are you telling me that you're prepared to sacrifice everything that you could become in this life in the name of chasing a woman? Think about that. I'm not even doing the pause intentionally. I'm trying to internalize it myself. Now look, this is where like the whole red pill community comes in, because I know it's a dangerous topic. Because listen, I love women. I have nothing against women. Women are not to blame for a man's lack of self-control. Let's make that very clear here. You can't blame a woman for this. Unless she's put a gun to your head and said, give me all of your time, energy, attention, and money, then you are to blame for your lack of self-control. That's the honest truth. We have to take accountability. We're always responsible. We're always responsible. So that's that. So I guess in saying that, let's keep it in the context of women, because that is where lust will manifest for the most part, for most people. I've seen many guys. Kanye West has this quote about sexual energy is the highest energy we have. When a man goes to the club and gets dressed up and goes out in the cold and rents this car, it's all in the name of lust. It's all because he wants to impress some women. Think about in our own lives. Even me as a young man, I've played that game. And I know if you're watching this and you've gone up in years, you've played that game. And for the most part, some people are still playing that. Some people are still in that loop of trying to impress that woman or those women in the name of lust and for the name of sex. Bro, Let me tell you one thing. Sex is not worth your destiny. Sex is not worth your destiny. I'm laughing because it sounds so ridiculous to me. No offense, because listen, I'm not better than anyone. It sounds ridiculous to me because I've programmed my brain for years to realize, like, hold on, we're being fed a lie. We really need to chase our purpose more than anything else. But like, sex is not worth your destiny, bro. So many guys I know out every weekend at every event you can imagine, chasing women, got 1,000,006 of them on their phone that they're messaging back and forth. Bro, that energy that you're using to chase, you should be using it to build your future, to be a man of sustenance and value, to be a man that can provide and protect his loved ones. Because not only are you supposed to raise a family one day, but you already have a family that you've been brought into. I don't know the dynamics. Not every family's perfect. But there's someone you could probably help. There's someone even worse that needs your help. There's someone that needs your help in your family. And you're not giving them the help they need because you'd rather chase women. Think about it. Listen, like, this is a note to myself just as much. And like, truthfully, I don't really do the chasing women thing too much, if I'm just being completely transparent, just because I realize, like, I mean, I say too much. I don't do it at all, really. Like, I might speak to some girls here and there just because, you know, for work purposes or to be social and friendly because you don't want to be rude. But absolutely, there's a line drawn. We are not meeting up for any social occasion. If you've got work that we need to get done and I can help and get paid on it, absolutely fine. But I'm not looking for no friends with benefits. Absolutely, I don't need none of that. Do you know what I mean? I'm completely focused on who I'm trying to become. Plus also, like I said in yesterday's video, you have to say no to say yes to something else. Every time I say yes to meeting up with this girl, I'm saying no to spending time either working or resting on the go. So don't let lust and your desire for sex and women be the reason why you fall short of your goal. Think about it from that perspective. See me, I think from a higher level, from a higher perspective. Not to say, once again, better than anybody, but like, I look at things from a bird's eye view. To some people, it might just be harmless. Yeah, I'm just texting her back, it's cool. But for me, I'm looking at it like, 10 years from now, am I going to regret this time I'm spending in this back and forth communication? Or would I have wished I had been working on my goal sooner? You know, listen, I'm about to be 30 years old at the end of this month. So like, I'm also maybe just in a different season of life where I realize, you know what? There's nothing really to wait for anymore. No one's coming to save me. Anything I achieve is going to be off my own back. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's a cold, harsh truth to realize. And I'm grateful for the fact that I have realized it, because many don't. And like, many either do realize and just feel completely helpless. Whereas I'm like, no, whatever I want, I can have it. Whatever I want, I can have it. Through consistency and discipline, there's nothing I can't have. Through consistency and discipline, there's nothing I can't have. And the last thing I'm going to do is let lust and my desire for women and sex stop me from achieving what it is that I want to achieve. No way. Now look, I say that, but it's not easy. It's going to take, if you're in the trenches where maybe you've got a bad porn habit or you're sleeping around with women recklessly, you got some demons to shake off. And that's going to be a long, hard road. You could spend the next 3 years battling for your life to come out of it. I'm just being honest. It's a journey I had to go through myself a few years back. I had some very bad habits. Now I'm in a much cleaner place. I don't have to worry about those things anymore. But if you're fresh out of that, oh boy, you got some work to do. But it's worth it. It's more than worth it. I can promise you that. Being free, being able to think clearly, being able to speak to a woman and not need to have sex with her and be able to actually get to know who's in front of you is so powerful. I'm sure there's guys that are married in long-term commitments just off of lust, bro. Could you imagine that? So when I speak about Don't let lust rob you of your destiny. That's what I mean. Think of how many decisions you've made purely because you either wanted to have sex with someone or you just wanted to portray yourself in a certain way in front of someone else out of pride. Think of how much your decisions have been influenced by that kind of thinking. This is how lust will rob you of your destiny. Because instead of thinking objectively and clearly and decisively and in a masculine way, you're thinking filled with lust, brain absolutely blinded. It's dangerous, gents. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Listen, this is a topic I can speak on for days because, like I said, years ago I came to the realization that it was unhealthy, even though society will teach you and preach to you how normal and healthy it is. They'll tell you if you don't masturbate, you'll get prostate cancer. They'll tell you you're going to have too much pent up energy, you're going to explode. I can promise you now, none of that is true. I've gone celibate for about 300 days before, and I was completely fine. In fact, I was better than I'd ever been in my entire life. How about that, doctor? Prostate cancer. I mean, I've never checked for it. Maybe I do have it from that period, but I doubt it. I feel good. And we'll cover this topic a bit more, you know. It's something I can speak on for days. I do watch a bit of semen retention content myself, so why not contribute to the conversation, you know? But for one way I do have to leave it. Do not let lust rob you of your destiny. Stay focused. Stay clean. There's real demons out here. And when I say demons, people have it mistaken, or maybe this is just my way of perceiving it. Like when men speak of the Jezebel spirit that can sometimes be in a woman, or that a woman is a Jezebel spirit, no. She's just under the possession of that spirit. She's as much a victim to the spirit as you are. Do you understand that? So don't look at her as she's evil. She's just possessed. And then in her possession, she's allowing you to be possessed by it. And you're actually being attacked by that demon, but you think it's her. So just learn to live with love and grace. These are topics that we can go into, but I'm going to start right there. This is the absolute beginning. This is the absolute beginning. Do not let lust rob you of your destiny. Take care. Goodbye, guys.